And now I am happy to introduce the first speaker today, who works with one of my favorite animals. Our first presentation today is from Program Manager Sheila Funnell with the Grevy Zebra Trust in Kenya. And the title of her talk is The Women Leading the Recovery of this Endangered Species.
Hello, my name is Sheila Funnell, and I'm the Program Manager at the Grevy Zebra Trust. I'm so excited to be joining all of you today to be able to share with you some of the ways in which women are making a difference for conservation of endangered species here in Kenya. I don't know how many of you have seen a Grevy zebra before. I certainly remember the first time I saw this amazing animal. A large male cantered across the road in front of my car, then stopped and turned to look back at me. Grevy zebra have been described as all souls, and in that moment, I knew exactly why. Once more widely distributed throughout the Horn of Africa, Grevy zebra are now only found in Kenya and Ethiopia. They are endangered. Only 3,000 individuals remain in the wild today. This is an 80% decline in their population numbers since the 1970s. Less than 1% of their range is formally protected. Grevy zebra are the largest of the 3 zebra species found in Africa. They have thin, intricate black stripes that cover their body, leaving their belly a startling white. They have a soft, brown muzzle, and their large round ears are a characteristic feature of their unique morphology. Grevy zebra differ from their plain zebra cousins not only in how they look, but also how they behave. Grevy zebra are adapted to survive in dry, arid environments and can go up to 5 days without water. Breeding males establish large territories that contain grazing and water that females need to survive. When females move through these territories, it gives the males an opportunity to mate with them. Males that have not yet established territories are known as bachelors. They wait for any opportunity to challenge the breeding male and grab their territory. Grevy zebra live in the same environment as the Samburu, Rendile, and Turkana communities of northern Kenya. They can often be seen grazing together with livestock within the landscape. Grevy Zebra Trust was established in 2007. We are the only organization that is 100% dedicated to conserving this endangered species here in Kenya. More than 93% of our team comes from the communities living within the Grevy zebra range and sharing their resources. We work with women, elders, warriors, and we also work with school-going and herder children. All of our programs are designed to address the main threats to Grevy zebra. These include limited access to water, poaching, habitat loss, and habitat fragmentation. We have 3 main goals. The first is healthy arrangements to support community livelihoods and Grevy zebra. The second is minimizing the impact of large-scale development projects on Grevy zebra and other wildlife. We're so excited to embark on this project with our great friends, partners, and neighbors, Ewaso Lions. The third is population health and monitoring. Our team of scouts, warriors, and ambassadors cover a 10,000 square kilometer area in northern Kenya, monitoring and protecting the species. Our Grevy zebra scouts are composed primarily of women, chosen by the community to monitor and protect Grevy zebra. As widows, the women are considered socially disadvantaged within their communities through the loss of their husbands. They were voiceless. Since being employed by Grevy Zebra Trust, they have learned basic reading and writing skills and have also learned to use technical equipment such as GPS units. The data that they're collecting has been so influential in helping us conserve Grevy zebra. This map shows an oil pipeline in yellow cutting through core range for Grevy zebra, highlighted in dark green. Through the long-term data sets the scouts have been collecting, we've been able to influence the trajectory of the pipeline to go 4 kilometers around that core range for Grevy zebra, thereby safeguarding the lactating female and foal's core range. Our Grevy zebra scouts also monitor for drought and water. This is Wankare. When she started work as a Grevy Zebra Scout in 2017, she told us she knew exactly what she had to do to conserve Grevy zebra. As she was monitoring along a dry riverbed, she saw two Grevy zebra digging at the dry riverbed trying to access water. We were in the height of a drought, so it was impossible for them to get water through their digging. She told us that she knew exactly what she had to do. And so she started digging a well within the dry riverbed, and within a few minutes, the water had filled up in the hole that she dug. She moved to the side of the dry riverbed to see what would happen, and sure enough, the two Grevy zebra moved right to that well and started drinking. She told us that she felt a sigh of relief go through her body. She felt she had done something great that day. This fall was abandoned by his mother. Defying taboos, Grevy Zebra Scout Patton Labasha took the fall into her manyatta. Wildlife are not allowed in the manyatta. It's seen as a bad thing. But she defied taboos, brought the fall into her manyatta, and protected it overnight from predators such as hyenas until it was rescued the next day. This shows that women are action-oriented, defying taboos, and really doing everything in their power to conserve every individual Grevy zebra. In Samburu culture, the husband is the face of the family, the sole provider, and also the security. But through determination and resilience, the scouts are changing their status within the community. They're providing for themselves and their families and changing the face of conservation in northern Kenya. They're known as Nkongu Nakejeye, the eye that has seen far and come back. In Wamba, where the Grevy Zebra Scouts operate, the greatest threat to Grevy zebra is habitat loss, is loss of grassland through habitat loss as a result of overgrazing by livestock. When this happens, we lose precious rainfall. About 80% of the rain is lost to runoff and evaporation. For grass to grow, we really need to capture this rainfall. Over the past couple of years, we've been working primarily with elders and warriors within the community to try and change the habits of the people grazing their livestock on the land to promote better grazing practices. But it's only since we brought in women that we've really started to see the impact of rehabilitation methods on the ground. The Grassland Champions was started earlier this year and is led by Ngeti Lampate. It is my great honor to introduce you to this amazing grassland champion. She is also the first female Disney conservation hero in Africa. Welcome, Ngeti.
Nanu kajin karna Ngeti elambati. Na sitere lagasi o tukushi. Para pakati lagasi. Raskauti epi. Tata sargasi tapa. Bagana kadamu inatabai. Itu kayak ba, orang tata yang kasih bata ramat, yang kudu tata itu. Nah, aku ini ramat, yang kudu ni gitu. Kore taruh ni gitu jenga, tahu nake, apa ke na, kasih nang nake, ofis ini, yuk beratin, aku siul ramon, ramat itu. Kalau mana pun sogio ni pun siul ramon ramat tu kudu po, lalu tu nanu. Atau komunitas, perbangsa atau komunitas, najo, kalau pun komunitas, ramat, matu menjadi naik itu mana ramat amki sepatu ande. Kamu berbangun naik dia, nada aja perentu binari tangku lupa, nere dah bagun tu tin pogi nikia tang misi, angkang, unnasur, nada aja kudu pun nari tang karak mengotai nisur. Nah pere, acis punya nalu tu nyaramat. Nangaso ayudia bayenu wantomano. Itu kan nakal tu mungkin masuk lain dema bagai ayudia tanto 2 minutes. Per bayi tu rupoge nu bumutan. Lain gua nak jadi per naikas nanya tay bung tu pang. Nanya tu mati kias. Tigin di biasa bahkan kan wajib. Ay todol. Mutu dua bakal tuana kalau sama siang aja kita itu di kias. Sopan. Kore pal gwana kininche ni bung ntomonok kakata ntomonok lai bunga na chiri ni ntomonok ini naga ninche tu binyo serai nikiasikira nikiasikira kusopa oleng na tashamaitie abaki irpayiani neitoki irpayiani aapuo naa aret iyiok etodua ajo entoki supat.
Women have also been taking the lead in reviving traditional cultures to safeguard rangelands for Grevy zebra. This is in the Interosi ceremony, where women dress in Kilani, traditional Samburu skins and red ochre. And when they do this, they become very powerful within their community. During the Interosi ceremony, when dressed like this, women's demands must be met. An Interosi for rangelands where the women sing and pray for the health of their rangelands had not been carried out for the past 50 years. In 2017, the women moved around the zones within the conservancy, singing and praying for the healthy rangelands. They prayed that women within their community, that elders, that warriors would listen to their demands and really start making a change for the rangelands, for their livelihoods, and for Grevy zebra. This was a very powerful ceremony and really brought back the importance of traditional and cultural methods in conserving rangelands in this area. Women are also going beyond that and also really making a difference for themselves in supporting their own livelihoods. This is the Inkiritan project, where women from the Sasad community in Westgate Conservancy have been making reusable sanitary pads to provide these to women and girls within their community. This is important because it allows girls to stay in school during their menstrual cycle and also provides a healthy and hygienic option for women and girls as compared to the traditional methods. The pads are Grevy zebra, are striped like a Grevy zebra, so that people are able to make that link between the pads and Grevy zebra conservation. They've been distributed to schools. Here, you can see the girls holding up packs of pads which have 4 pads within them. These pads, if managed and taken care of properly, can last up to a year. During this time of COVID-19, the Inkiritan project switched from making reusable sanitary pads to making masks for their community. We've made over 5,000 masks to date, and these have been so beneficial in targeting the most vulnerable members of the community and protecting them from this disease. It is my great honor to introduce you to Damaris Lekilwai, the project officer for the Inkiritan project.
Everyone, my name is Damaris Lekilwai. I work with the Grevy Zebra Trust as a Women Empowerment Project Officer. The Grevy Zebra Trust Reusable Sanitary Pads project was also named by our women scouts, and this project helped the girls keep the girls in school. It also provides an hygienic option to the women and girls of our community, as well as providing economic empowerment to the women who are producing the pads. This pad is zebra striped to make sure that it connects directly to the conservation of Grevy zebra. When COVID hit the world, we switched temporarily to production of triple ply masks so that we can protect our community from the spread of COVID-19. Since one of our graduate women was so much happy and encouraged that she can be able to produce a mask so that she can be able to protect our community from the spread of COVID-19. One evening, as Cynthia went home, she found that one of our neighbors was waiting for her, hopefully to get a mask from her. And Cynthia provided her and her family with a few masks to protect herself and her family. Cynthia was so much happy with her friend, and she also felt that it's really an encouragement that Grevy Zebra came in to empower them and to empower us so that she can be able to support our community. Thank you very much.
In addition to all of these amazing programs, we also have a bursary student program. This targets both girls and boys, but it's really important in targeting the next generation of women to take the lead in conservation. They're empowering themselves, empowering their families, and really are going to be the face of conservation here in northern Kenya in the future. Thank you.
What an amazing presentation, I think, and I hope you all will agree with me. The imagery is so powerful throughout Sheila's entire presentation. And now, I think, joining us live from Samburu land in northern Kenya is Sheila Funnel, the very person who was just speaking. Sheila, are you with us?
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Fantastic.
I hope you can all see me. Sorry, it's 9 o'clock here, so it might be a bit dark.
It is a little bit, but we can see you fine.
Good.
It does look a little bit like you're on an insect collecting expedition right now as well.
There are quite a few around.
Yes, there are. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're very lucky to have you as part of this. So we had a host of questions for you, if you have some time to be able to talk through these. You spoke a lot in your presentation about the cultural significance of Grevy zebra and the taboos with bringing zebra, I'll try to say it correctly, zebra into the manyatas, into the community space. How do locals feel about zebra more generally? Are they feared? Are they hunted? Are they seen as a pest, a benefit? How would you characterize, maybe specifically in Samburu land, the public perception of zebras?
Thanks, James. That's a really good question. I think I would start by saying that traditionally, so in the past, people and zebras have coexisted together. They've lived in the same landscape. They've shared resources. That includes grass and that includes water. Grevy zebra also play this very important role in the traditions and cultures of people through leading the way to water during drought periods. And we have some amazing stories from individuals who've suffered droughts, about 30, 40 years ago, whose whole livestock herd was saved through him taking the initiative and following Grevy zebra over 3 days to find water. So there's this really, really tangible way that people are connected to Grevy zebra. But unfortunately, as time has gone on and resources are becoming a bit more limited because of overgrazing by livestock, habitat degradation, sharing the resources doesn't come as easily. So now you'll see, to some extent, when people do dig wells, they always fence those wells to stop wildlife accessing those. So it's when they bring their livestock to the wells that they'll unfence them with these thorn bushes, have their livestock drink, and then put the thorn bush or thorn fence around the wells. You'll also see that when Grevy zebra are in pasture and livestock are coming through, the Grevy zebra will be chased away by the herders. So there has been this shift towards intolerance, but through the work that we've been doing, we've seen this much greater tolerance towards the species. Wells are being left unfenced, pasture is being shared, and these sort of taboos against Grevy zebra being broken down. But that's primarily, that has been primarily by women who just in the past didn't have this voice before, this stand. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So it seems like women are fundamentally converting or changing the culture in the areas in which you all have been working.
Yeah, and I think that's, so they're not just changing the culture, they're reviving cultures. So cultures that have been lost, for example, through the Ntarosi ceremony, that Ntarosi for rangelands had not been held for about 30, 40 years. So they brought that back. And, there's some amazing stories about, when they're sort of moving through the zones in Westgate Conservancy, where elders wanted to, sort of say, look, we need our livestock to graze in this area. We need our livestock to graze in a certain area. And the women, just through their appearance, through the sort of collective voice, were able to say, no, we must graze in a certain direction altogether. We must follow this bunched grazing plan, and so that was really powerful. So in that respect, they're reviving cultures. We're seeing with the grassland champions, the methods that they're promoting. It's not a new method. These are methods that have been utilized by people living in this landscape for years. It's just that as time is changing, cultures are changing. So we just need to revive those practices. And that's what women are doing. In the case of bringing falls into the manatas, yes, that was a change, definitely, but a positive one. And people are seeing, and you're seeing that more and more often now as people are having this increased tolerance to the species.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really fantastic. I love that the women are bringing back that traditional ecological knowledge that has been resident in the communities and may have been more sustainable than maybe more modern or industrialized practices, would you say?
Yeah, yes. I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, people and livestock have historically coexisted. People, livestock, and wildlife have historically coexisted in this landscape for hundreds of years. You know, there was a huge diversity, huge abundance of wildlife in the past, and of course, you can't really attribute changes in wildlife abundance to a particular. You can't say it's directly related to, for example, population growth or to livestock increases or to habitat degradation, but you can see that link. But those methods, those traditions that have kept wildlife safe for so long, we're seeing them getting lost. And I think it's so important to appreciate the value of those cultures, those traditions, those systems that have historically kept wildlife safe, and revive those, because I think it's one of the key ways in which people are invested in wildlife. We're seeing a lot of dehumanization of wildlife, sort of this separation between people and wildlife, and that shouldn't be the case. People and wildlife have coexisted together, and I think we need to bring that back. We need to promote that system.
A lovely claim. That's fantastic. A great philosophy. So on a bit of a lighter topic, Americans, we tend to be very purchasing oriented. So Nancy, and probably all of us here at the Living Desert, would like to ask if there's any chance that we could purchase any of the GZT masks here in the US.
Oh, yes, of course you can. I would love to send some over. I can send you the details separately, but if you would, there's also our website, which if anyone that's watching would love to purchase those masks, you can get in touch with us at conservation@grevyzebratrust.org. James, I would love for you to be wearing the zebra striped masks and showcasing the species at the zoo and outside of it. So yes, of course you can.
Fantastic. Sheila, just so that you know, I do represent GZT, not necessarily on my face, of course, which is not the purpose of this. But the Inkiritan Project is such an inspiration for so many of us. What a wonderful way to bring together women's empowerment, the education of young women, and tie it in with zebra conservation.
Completely. I think it's sorry, that was just something landing on me.
Part of the entomology exploration.
Yep. So yeah, no, completely. And I think so. One of the key things that we found once COVID hit was that GZT is in a really unique position to sort of strengthen our relationship with the people that live in this landscape and the people that we work with. We're a small organization, and we found that we've been very adaptable, very resilient, and that's partly because the benefit system that we promote with people is livelihood based. So it's something that we don't really rely on outside influences to support that benefit system. So we promote livestock, using that as a tool to rehabilitate rangelands. So we found that we've been able to be a lot more resilient on the ground, be present on the ground, even when a lot of organizations have had to leave because of rules and protocols within the organization. We've thankfully been able to stay here. We've been able to spread awareness about COVID-19, and we've done that in some of the most remote parts of northern Kenya, where no one else would visit. Some of the areas where our warriors work, our ambassadors work. in El Bata, Lysamis. So we were really the ones on the ground spreading the message about COVID-19. And thanks to the Nkiritan women, we've distributed over 4,000 masks now towards to the community. So to our team members, to their families, and to more vulnerable members of the community. So I think we're very lucky and very grateful for the position that we're in to support the people living with Grevy zebra.
Fantastic. Wow. So we have many questions coming in as well. There's a question for you about the recent political unrest in Ethiopia. Since Samburu is in northern Kenya, which is not too far away from Ethiopia, is that in fact impacting your work at all?
No, not at all. There is a small population of Grevy zebra in Ethiopia. During the last count, that's estimated to be about 200 individuals. We don't have a team there. However, we do support the Ethiopian Wildlife Conservation Authority in conservation of Grevy zebra there. So it hasn't really impacted us and our work here. I'm not sure whether that will spread, because I know that there's a lot of migration of people from the affected areas in Ethiopia to places like Sudan. We haven't yet started seeing people coming into Kenya, but potentially if that does happen, that might have some repercussions, but I can't say for certain yet. It's currently not impacting us though.
Sure, okay. So we had another big picture question from Allison. Have the Kenyan, or I guess Ethiopian governments as well, but has the Kenyan government in particular responded to the great work that you all are doing? Are they providing support and engagement in the work that you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've got a freeze on Sheila. Are you still there by chance? Sheila is also in the area she is in Samburu land. There is a lot of lightning happening, and so she's been having some problems with internet connections. So I fear that we may have just lost our fabulous collaborator. If assuming that is the case, I will continue on. I just wanted to share with everyone too, their website. Please make certain that you do go check them out at grevyzebratrust.org. We work with Grevy Zebra Trust quite a bit here at the Living Desert in a bunch of things. One is evaluating the social impact of the Nkiritan project, the women's sanitary pads. We also work with them with our volunteers. Shout out to our amazing volunteers, many of whom are on this call as well, with helping with the camera trap image processing. And Sheila, I think you're back just in time to be able to say thank you.
Thank you. I'm so sorry about that. But for the last question, if I was going to tell you about the Great Grevy's Rally, but I would love you to please have a look at our website. You can find out a bit more about that. And we're so lucky to have the Living Desert Zoo as partners. They've been critical for our social work and also just in building the skills of the entire GZT team. So thank you so much, James, and everyone else for tuning in.
Sheila, thank you so much for that. And thank you for being a part of our event today. You're a real joy and a treasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, take care of yourself.
Bye.